This is July 24th, 2024. So 7/24/24. To see the progress that I may have made, I was actually looking through the gratitude cards. These are the gratitude cards. And so Buddha picture, it has 7 rules. I bought it a while ago. I think the Buddha picture, I bought it in like December or January. So I was looking for the cards, and for some reason, I wanted to find the card from April 24/24, 42424. Sometimes I like the repeat numbers, the angel numbers. That's referred in Abraham Hicks' videos quite a bit. And so that was one of the reasons I remember that when I wrote it down, I kind of thought through it a bit. And then, so this time when I wrote the 7/24/24, I just wanted to look back, but I couldn't find that card, but I found from January 24th, February 24th, and May 24th. And those cards versus today, if I were to think, yes, there are things that I have learned. Of course, there's always room for improvement for us to learn, but I'm glad for the things that I have been learning and exploring. This morning, so I've been listening to some affirmations because it's a little bit challenging time. I have been listening to some affirmations, and one of the video this morning on YouTube that really stuck out. I did listen to this before, but this morning I think it resonated with me more than it has ever been. It was Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer talks about, and a lot of these big people, Wayne Dyer died, I think, a few years ago, or maybe like about 10 years ago or something. He taught a lot in this field. One of his quotes that is my favorite is, when you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. So when you change the way you look at things, the change you look at. Why am I saying it wrong today? I don't know. The thing you look at changes. So the glass is not half empty. The glass is like, almost full, but there is an empty spot. So what he means is that if you're looking at the glass, the water part, then you can say that the glass is almost full, but there's another way to look at it to say that, okay, the glass is a little empty. Both are true. Nobody can say that the second statement is incorrect. Both are true, but it's just keeping the focus on the positive, that the glass is almost full. So that's how it helps, because when we are focusing on the what's missing, is we keep looking for more missing. So he talked about not to focus our attention on what is, and unfortunately that's what we try to do most of the times, because that's how our mind is wired. So a while ago, I haven't used this metaphor for a while, and I'm going to use it today so that it also sinks in with my own head. And that there are 2 parts of our mind. This is the positive side, and this is the negative side. And whatever we feed, which is also in Buddhism, whatever we feed grows. So when we're focusing on the lack, what is, especially if it is bad, that's what grows. And And when we don't focus on what's bad, we just let it pass. It's like the Buddhism, the cloud, thinking of cloud. It's not easy, but just don't focus on it and focus on something better, better feeling thought and positive action. And you nourish the happiness, then that grows. And as hard as it is, we gotta do it. And they say the morning is the best time as soon as you get up and before going to bed, because that's when what we put in our brain, those times, is what goes on our subconscious. And subconscious is what is controlling 95% of our thoughts and actions and everything. In the mornings, I use these cups today. I took this one. It says, enjoy the little things. I want to kind of remind myself of that, to enjoy the very little things. I'm supposed to meet a friend for lunch today. She didn't confirm it yet, but we'll probably go and meet. So I'm looking forward to that. We worked together about 10 years ago. And I'm glad that we still kept in touch. I think, that was 10 years ago. After that, we were in the same company for some more time. However, we were in different buildings. We kept in touch, but then even after that, we kept in touch. So I'm grateful in life, especially in my life, where I come from a small town in India. Then I did my college in a big city. Then I came to this country back in 2005, on July 4th weekend. So it's 19 years now. July 4th weekend. And I was just pondering over it a little bit as I'm talking. Life has changed so much since then. I came to Boise, Idaho. I was there only 3-4 months, and then where we were working, they actually shut down that office, and then they had another office here in Northern Virginia and Richmond area. It's Capital One, actually. So all of us were moved in this side, and that's where pretty much I stayed in this area mostly. In Virginia, DC, Maryland, where I worked and lived mostly. So where I was going with that is there are many people I met. I worked in many different places, so there are many people, many friends, and sometimes even though we want to keep in touch with all, sometimes we lose touch. So I'm grateful that this friend and I, there are some other friends like that we have kept in touch, because we all need human connection, people we can really relate to, talk openly. And in my case, it's more important also because all my family is in India. So in that small town, and they're there for me. However, it is hard to, our life has changed so much, so some of it's hard for them to relate a life here in the US, and my life also has changed a lot, and it's nobody's fault. It's just different. It's just different. I think it's hard for them to relate to how or what I go through, and it's hard for me to relate to what they go through. So sometimes with that, what happens is our understandings are different for the same things. And I think a lot of Indian folks who are here, who are like me, who has lived here 15, 20, 30 years, sometimes we, at least for me, I know, we kind of get in the middle, a life that is hard to define, because there are things that we like about Indian things, and there are things that is we like about American things, and then it becomes hard because our they say that your values and beliefs come from, of course, how you grew up, your childhood, and also over time how your life has shaped the experiences that you go through. And at least for me, I know that the life path that I followed in my family, I did not have anybody where I followed their footsteps. It was like I followed my own footsteps. Good or bad, I didn't know when I started the journey, but I don't know. I had this vision, the big dream, and I just went for it. And I think in midlife, our life changes so much, and the fearlessness, the confidence, the everything that I had, I think in some way, shape, or form, it's a little challenged now, which happens sometimes in life's experiences that makes you to question things. And also, and this is the part of our life, the midlife, and the channel is that midlife mindfulness, and I started learning and exploring mindfulness because this is the time in some books that talk about where some people become like they buy new things, they want to explore new things. I don't know, some people buy convertible cars, but in some people they have this thing to find out why are they here, who are they. Like in my case, the same, I fall in the second category. Who am I? Can I live a better life the next half of my life? What can I do? How can I be more kind? I printed some pictures here from online. It looks very flimsy, but I'll show it to you still. I talk about this sometimes. I printed it from online. It says, be the kind one. And on a computer screen, be kind. Then it says, difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. And what good shall I do this day? And thank you, to remember to say thank you to people who help us. More often than not, we forget. And some of it is culture thing too. In India, when I grew up, these days they, I think, say more. Even among my Indian friends now, if you already say thank you for doing something, for helping, it's almost like it's a culture thing. It's like, oh, don't thank me, because by thanking you're kind of pushing me away. So it's almost like if you are a close friend, you are kind of, I don't know, like expected to help, and then you're like more like family. And then if you thank them, it feels like as if you're putting them far. It's hard to explain. But here in this country, you want to remember to say thank you and all that, because it's part of the culture. And if you don't, then it's kind of rude. Anyway, this reminds me, yesterday I went to the gym for a little bit. I picked up one of the existing books by Thich Nhat Hanh, How to Smile. And existing meaning I had that book before, but somebody had a hold, and the book was returned, and then I got it back again. And also I picked up another book by Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. I think it's called The Book of Joy. I haven't read it yet. And one of the table of content, one of the sections said something like, real happiness is possible only when you have suffering. I was trying to see if the book is here. I think it's over there. Real happiness is possible with some suffering or something. I'm going to read it in the coming week, and then I'll talk about it in this in these videos, maybe one of the mornings when I make the longer ones. I love reading these books, and I think it keeps me in the zone, in a good zone. I know that I'm working on my transformation this year. I mean, there are times that we work on ourselves to get better, but this year I was really focusing on to work on my mind in a sustainable way. So I think I'm getting a call, so I gotta pick that up.